guess what? I'm getting vaccinated. Hi everyone, it's me. So yes, I'm getting vaccinated. Finally! This week I want to share with you guys my experience getting my first jab, what lockdown has been like here in England, how has this whole pandemic thing been going. I realized I haven't had a video really on this yet, I don't think. And we've been in it for a while, so I think it was probably time. So without further ado, let's go. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I've been living here in England for over 5 years. One of which has been a pandemic. So what has England been like during COVID-19? How much time do you have? Like pretty much every other country, we've been in some level of lockdown. I think England has been in some kind of restriction since March of 2020, really. It's been a long time. It's been a long year, you guys. Now, the biggest drama lately is originally the government here in the UK were saying, all right, well, June 21st is gonna be the day that we really open up, June 21st. As of now, they've just announced that, nope, that is not the case. We are going to wait an additional 4 weeks. So stay as we are, nothing changes, but we won't be opening up until at least potentially 4 weeks from now. At least that's what they're saying now. By the time this video goes live, who knows, right? It's probably gonna be different. Now, everyone's got an opinion on whether we should open up now or whether we should wait. A lot of people get really passionate about it. But I will say, whether you agree with how the government's been handling lockdown restrictions and all that kind of stuff, we have been smashing it with the vaccine. I think we can say that. So across the UK, I feel like the NHS has just been amazing. Absolutely incredible. If you work for the NHS and you happen to be watching this video, God bless you guys. For comparison, my family is in Ontario, Canada, and I remember when like 40-year-olds were getting vaccinated here in the UK. My grandma was getting vaccinated in Ontario, like in her late 80s. So Ontario's doing better now. They've sort of sped it up, but they were really slow to catch on. And there's all sorts of issues. I mean, there's issues in every country, but just for comparison, Ontario was really slow to get going. Whereas I feel here in the UK, we have a huge population compared to little old Ontario. Huge population here. And yet people are getting vaccinated left, right, and center. A lot of people are getting their second jab, which is very exciting. Another thing that's not even that interesting, but maybe you didn't know, here in the UK, people usually say jab for like a vaccination. In Ontario, we tend to say shot. So I'm going to get my shot, or I'm booked to get my shot, or I'm booked to get my vaccine, whatever. Whereas here, Brits like to say jab, which for some reason, like shot is quite a violent word, but jab for some reason feels like scary to me. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm booked to get my jab tomorrow. Super easy process too, by the way. Wow. So the government across news channels and social media and all the internet stuff announces which age group is now eligible. So we got the all clear that 25-year-olds and up can book to get their first jab. Now I also got a text message saying that it was now my turn to book for a jab, and I also got a letter in the post. The font on that letter is massive. I really appreciate that as someone who can't really see. So I found that the NHS is really trying to get people from all different directions. If you don't watch the news, you get the letter. If you don't pay attention to the letter, maybe you'll get the text. It just kind of comes from all angles. So what happened for me personally is the news announced it, good to go. So I went online onto the website, and there were some queues, but nothing more than like 10 minutes maybe. And then you could get through and you could look at the vaccination centers. The problem I was having was all the centers that they were offering me were really hard to get to. Like they were gonna be awkward. It might be like 2 trains or a train and a bus or something. So not ideal. So I kept waiting. And the website does say if you don't see a vaccination center near you, keep trying because it does change. So I waited a couple days, and I wasn't, because I know there's one near me, and I thought, like, I want the closest one to me rather than going like 3 towns over. So I waited, and then I was getting to the point where I thought, well, maybe I should just book a weird location so at least I have a booking. And then I got, I believe, an email and a text message from my GP, so my local doctor, basically saying the same thing. Hey, we want you to get vaccinated. If you don't have an appointment yet, come see us. And I was like, finally. So I'm really excited. I'm nervous. I mean, I don't think anybody truly enjoys getting a jab or a shot. Maybe an alcoholic shot, but not a vaccine shot. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm excited. I feel like a little bit of vaccine envy because a lot of people are getting their second jab, and I'm just like, can I have my first, please? This is kind of like, this whole channel I sort of feel is almost like a personal time capsule, if that makes sense. I actually, while filming this, I just got a text message as a reminder that my vaccine is tomorrow. It's like they're listening. They probably are. Anyway, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, it's like a time capsule. So even though many of you people watching may have already had your vaccine and you already know what it's like, so I'm not really telling you anything particularly new perhaps, but I do kind of feel like this is a time capsule. This is the first time I was vaccinated during a pandemic that has killed millions of people. I kind of feel like we gloss over that a little bit. I feel like in every country there are protests. Unfortunately, in the UK, they have them in Canada too, where people are protesting that they don't want to wear masks or they don't want lockdown anymore. They want to go to the pub. You hear people online, oh, can't wait, I just want to go to the pub and I just want to like do this stuff. I want to go to Primark and whatever. And I totally understand that people want to get back to normal because I do as well. But I also feel like we're kind of losing sight on the fact that we have just been through like a really traumatic event. Do you guys ever just think about that? Literally millions of people have died who shouldn't have died. And we're all just like, I want to get to the pub. I don't know, sometimes that just kind of like shocks me a little bit. Like, we're just kind of glazing over such a traumatic experience. And I don't know how I feel about that. I know for me, so Christmas was canceled down here in Kent. We had our own variant, the Kent variant, if you heard of that. That's where I'm living. And right before Christmas, Boris was like, Christmas is canceled, suck it up, Buttercup, we just have to deal with this. So from that point until, I mean, even now, we have been in some level of restriction. And most of that, it was very restricted. And I don't know about you guys, but my mental health sucked. My mental health took a nosedive, my guys. I absolutely understand the need for a lockdown and I try to abide by it as best as possible. I don't go indoors really at all anymore. I'll go for walks outside, but only go inside if I really need to, all that business. I haven't been over to a friend's house or, I mean, I haven't gone out to dinner at a restaurant or a pub yet because I don't really feel that comfortable, especially I don't have my first jab yet. So I have been really trying and I totally understand the importance of all that. But wow, my mental health like over the winter period, early spring, was not very good. I actually am going to do a video soon about dealing with anxiety because I found my mental health, my anxiety, wow, it's been not so good. But I know that lockdown is important. But I am very excited and I really truly feel like we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Now that I finally get my vaccine, everybody else has been talking about their vaccine and it's really exciting. And I've got vaccine envy, but now I'm gonna get mine too. So I am really pumped. We've all sacrificed so much this last year. And I'm just I just want to go back to some level of normal when it's somewhat safe to do so. Is it ever going to be safe to do so? I don't know. but I'm ready to get going. One thing too with the whole pandemic situation, of course it's been very awful, but for us expats, it's kind of been another layer of awful because I can't go home. So a lot of us expats, you know, maybe didn't go home last year because they weren't allowed to. And maybe they weren't able to go home the year before because of money, or it just didn't work out. So I know some people who have not been able to go home in a long time, which that sucks. I mean, you have to accept that as an expat, but you don't really plan on there being like a global border shutdown. I don't think anybody really planned for that. But it does add another layer of crap for expats. So if you're an expat watching and you have not been able to go home in a long time, I'm totally sorry. I'm really sorry. I know it's not my fault, but I'm very sorry. All right, I think that's it for the beginning of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, could you subscribe? That would be super, super cool. Thank you so much. Go ahead and subscribe, all right? I'll wait. All right, now, thank you so much. Okay, I am sweating. It's so hot here in England now. I'm going to get back to work because technically it's the middle of the day. Don't tell anybody. And tomorrow we're gonna get vaccinated, all right? I'm really excited. I will see you then. Good morning, everybody. It is vaccine time. Yay! I'm only a little bit nervous. Yay! So it is morning time. I'm having my cold brew, iced coffee. It's wonderful. Thank you for asking. I've got a shirt where my arms are exposed for injections. So now I'm just kind of standing around waiting. I really hate being late for things, like anxiety-wise. So I'm probably just gonna stand here until I'm ready to go. How's your day going? I probably should have said this earlier, and because this is my YouTube channel, I will say whatever I want. If you are currently in the comment section of this video typing away that you do not believe in vaccines, or that I'm an idiot for getting vaccinated, or that you're never gonna get vaccinated, please kindly just leave. I have no interest in speaking to you. Thank you. Yeah, I have no interest for anti-vaxxers. If you happen to find this video, please leave. I don't care about you. Sorry. But everybody else, thank you so much. I know some people have got some really bad side effects from these vaccines, and yet they still do it to protect themselves and to protect others. God bless you. That's what I want to do. I want to protect myself and I want to protect others. All right, we're all in this together. We're gonna get out of this together, and hopefully one of these don't happen for a very long time. So anyway, I have like a half hour probably before I need to leave. So I'm just gonna wander the house, finish up my coffee. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's get vaccinated. Science. Isn't this crazy? We're like, do you ever just think about the science of making these vaccines? Anyway, I am caffeinated. Let's do this. I'm vaccinated. So I am finally back home. I got some water. High of 29 today here in England with no air conditioning. So I'm a sweaty mess. But overall, the whole process was pretty painless. The only thing that kind of sucked was there's about 4 different vaccination rooms, and each person in that room had their own list. So even though I had a timed booking, the room that I was associated with, they were just kind of like going through their list. And unfortunately, my room was crazy delayed. So the worst part about the whole thing was I ended up sitting in the waiting room for like 45 minutes waiting for my turn, waiting for the vaccine, which is so much worse than the vaccine itself because you're like stressing out about it and thinking about it like, oh my God, and just like sweating it out in this waiting room for 45 minutes. But I finally got called in. She asked me some basic questions about allergies and medical history and whether I was happy to get Pfizer, which I said, yes, please. What arm do I want it in? I said left. Unfortunately, I sleep on the left, but I am right-handed. So I figured if my arm is going to be sore, I'd rather have the function of my right arm, and I'll just sleep on this side tonight. I'm not going to be sleeping much tonight anyways because it's going to be 29 degrees, so it really doesn't matter. But then she injected. I got a little bit of blood, but not much. It really just feels like a pinch, you know, or like a paper cut or something, and then that's it. and she said, "Would you like a sticker?" And I said, "Yes, please." And then she gave me a big sticker, like a label, and wrote on the time at which point I could leave. So I had to sit in the waiting room again for another 15 minutes. To be honest, I was less worried about the pain of the injection itself, and I was more worried about, like, what if I get it and I'm like sitting in the waiting room and I like pass out? Like, I'm so anxious and it's hot and it's, you know, I pass out. So that was what I was more worried about. So in the waiting room, I was like, just breathe nicely, deep, slow breaths. Everything's okay. You're not gonna pass out, all right? You're not gonna pass out. You don't even have a history of passing out. I don't know why you're worried about that. You're not gonna pass out. And I just waited for my 15 minutes. And once that was up, then I left. So I figured I would give you guys some updates. So right now I literally just had it. I'm kind of feeling tingling in my arm, but I think that's just because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, is that a side effect? Am I getting a side effect? So I am going to, actually, I think I'm gonna go to my actual desk and do some editing. Originally, I was just gonna get cozy on the couch and chill, but I'm feeling okay, so I think I'm gonna try and edit for a little bit, and I will check back in with you guys later. Fingers crossed. Hey YouTube, so it has been 24 hours since I got my first dose of the Pfizer vaccine, and we are here for an update. So after we last spoke, I immediately had a shower because I figured I'm feeling good. I should probably have a shower while I still can. And then most of the day I was editing. So I was just sort of sat at my desk doing some work. And because I was focusing on stuff, I wasn't really thinking about my arm or thinking about, oh, am I getting any side effects? I was busy. My brain was busy. By like 3:30, 4 p.m., I was feeling really good. I was like, I'm gonna film a YouTube update. But I was in my PJs. So I go upstairs and I try to get dressed. And real talk, I got my bra on halfway and I thought, I'm gonna pass out. So I sat down, half dressed, and I was getting all the like pinpricks of light and stuff, and I thought, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. So then I lay down, it passed. I didn't pass out, but I think because I hadn't been moving my arm at all really, and then I was trying to get dressed and I was moving a lot and it was really painful and it just kind of like came at me. So I didn't pass out, but I came very close to. So at that point I took 2 paracetamols, my first ones of the day, and then I had dinner and I felt fine, and then I took 2 more pills sort of in the lead up going to bed. Sleeping was fine. I mean, it was hot as hell last night here in England, so hot, no air conditioning, oh my God. But then I woke up, took 2 more, and so far today, my arm is so sore, but it is the only side effect I've had, knock on wood, somewhere. So I don't have a fever, I don't have chills, I don't have a headache, which is actually quite surprising because I get chronic headaches, but not today. So really the only thing is my arm is basically useless. I can bend it at the elbow. I can move like this, but I cannot move this upper portion. And touching the injection site really, really hurts, even though there's no bruise and I can't even see like the hole or anything. It's just touching that area is really sore. So that's the only thing happening right now, which I'm grateful for. It also kind of sucks because you don't realize how often you use both arms. So really, I would love to wash my hair. My hair is greasy, but I can't wash my hair with one hand. There's too much of it. So, I mean, only a couple thousand people are gonna see me like this, so it doesn't really matter. But I wanted to have a shower at least, right? It was so hot last night, I just sweat all night. I wanted to have a shower. But I can't put my hair up in a bun with one hand. So I had to explain to my partner how to do a ponytail and then how to turn a ponytail into a bun, and that was quite an ordeal, but we got there in the end, and I was able to rinse off a little bit in the shower at least, just with no function on this side at all. So getting dressed also sucks, but I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just gonna be in pajamas for the rest of the day, and hopefully tomorrow my arm will feel a little bit better. But if having a sore arm is the extent of my side effects, then that is fine. Most of the time, like on the computer, I can just kind of like not move. It's just the other things like showering and getting dressed and all that fun stuff. But I can get by for the next couple days, no worries. There's a lot of videos I'd like to film. Like I've got quite a few like ready in my mind, but they're just gonna have to wait and I'll do them another time. So that's been my vaccine journey so far. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful summer 2021. We finally made it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!